Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is saving energy and revision. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we know that we need to sanitize. So let's take our sanitizer. And remember, when we're sanitizing, we should be able to know how much is too much. So put enough for you to rub your hands thoroughly, but not so much that they remain so wet. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be doing reading comprehension, number concepts development, and computation. Now, boys and girls, let's begin our exciting lesson on page 3. On page 3 today, we are going to be reading about a tale of little big fuel. I'm sure this is an exciting story, but don't forget the rules about any comprehension. You need to read it 3 times. The first time is to understand what the story is all about. Then after that, you're going to read it a second time to try and look for your answers after you have read your questions. The last time you're going to read this comprehension is to make sure that your questions have been answered correctly. So let's take a look at our comprehension. I'd like you to try and read with me, or if it is not something that you are good at, that's okay. Please follow with me with your pencil. Let's start at the heading. The Tale of Little Big Fuel. My name is Little Big Fuel. It's a strange name, I know. Lots of people think I'm strange. I think I'm magical. This is my story. I've been underground for hundreds and millions of years. No one knew I was there. I'm invisible. You can't feel me. I'm a gas. 100 years ago, Dr. Snelling found me. He named me a propane. But my friends call me Little Big Fuel. There's the reason why. Here's the reason why. When everything is normal, I'm a gas. You can't see me, but I'm full of energy. You can burn me to make heat. I can heat your house. I can cook your food. I can run lanterns and tractors. Do you know the secret that makes me special? you can turn me into a liquid and make me very small. People squeeze me into little small bottles so they can carry me with them. They take me camping to cook food and light their lanterns. Farmers fill big tanks with me as liquid. Big trucks take me to farms to fill tanks. When I leave the tanks, I'm not under pressure anymore. I turn into a gas again and get big. I expand. Then I am burned to make heat. That's why I'm called Little Big Fuel. I am amazing, don't you think? Wow, this was a beautiful comprehension, and I'm sure most of you have lots of questions about this fuel. For now, let's answer the ones that we can actually see. Remember to read your questions 3 times or even twice so that you understand it and you know what you are looking for in terms of answers. Number 1 says, where did Little Big Fuel live before? Where did Little Big Fuel live before? Number 2 says, why can we not see or feel Little Big Fuel? Why can we not see or feel Little Big Fuel? Number 3 says, what can he be used for? What can he be used for? Number 4 says, what does it mean when something expands? What does it mean when something expands? And number 5 says, Little Big Fuel can be changed from gas to what other form? Little Big Fuel can be changed from gas to what other form? So here we are with our questions, and now it's time to read the comprehension a second time. But because you are big boys and girls, I'm going to leave that one all up to you. Then, any questions you might have about our Little Big Fuel, you can ask your teachers or even your parents. Have fun, try and find the correct answers, and I'll see you when you're done after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
Let's move on, boys and girls, with our lesson by going to page 4. On page 4, we are going to be doing number development concept. Now, remember, when we do numbers, they either grow in size or shrink, and they can either double or halve. Remember halving, which is to break the number in half by sharing equally in 2 sets. That's what you are going to do to complete the table. And then for the doubling, all you have to do is add the number to itself. They've given you an example of the number 26. Now, if you say 26 plus 26, you are going to get 52. That's when you have doubled it. But then if you say half of 26, by sharing equally, you will get 13. Here are a few that I've decided to do on the board. Let's take a look at those ones. Now, the 2 that I have chosen for today are the simple ones, but they look hard. First one is our number 100. Now, we know that if we say 100 plus 100, we will get 200. So 100 plus 100 gives us 200. Now, if we take our same 100 and split it in half or halfway, it changes now. If we share equally in each of the 2 sets we're going to share with, That means one set will have 50 and the other one will have 50 as well. The same can be said for the number 36. Doubling the number 36 will give us 72. So if it's 36 plus 36, we will get 72. But if we break it down and halve it, it now becomes 18. So take your time, boys and girls, when you're doubling and when you're halving. Try not to get confused. But if you do get confused, that's okay. You can ask an adult for help. When we move on for the lesson, you're going to see that this will actually be quite easy. When you're done with that one, you can move on to the next part of the exercise. Now, the next part of the exercise is still number development concept, but this time you are going to be building up numbers. As you can see, they have been broken down or decomposed in their natural place values. We're going to do one together, and then I'd like you to do the opposite for the decomposing, which means to break down. Let's take a look at the one we have done on the board. Now, the number that you can see here is 300 plus 7 tens plus 3 units. So if we have 300s, we write it the way we are saying it, 300s, which means this 3 becomes the first digit to be written. After that, we say plus 7 units. That makes the 7 the second digit that we are going to write. And then after that, we say plus 3 units. And that is the last digit that we will write for our answer. So 300s plus 7 tens plus 3 units will give us 373. Well done if you knew the answer before I did. Now, the reverse is also true. Let's say they gave us only the answer and they wanted us to decompose, to break it down. We will decompose by saying it the opposite way. So 300 is the first one, and so we would write our 3 and hundreds. And then the next one is 70. 370. So that means the 70 belongs to the tens. So all we have to do is write a 7. Then the last digit is 3. 373. So the last digit belongs to the units as a 3. So take your time, boys and girls, with this page. Please make sure you check by saying it out loud. And when you're doubling and halving, be careful not to mix them up. Let's now move on to the next page for this exercise, page 5. On page 5, we are continuing with our mathematics. This time, we are doing computations. It's going to be our job to fill in the missing numbers for the boxes. Now, as you can see, we have a mixture of addition and subtraction. We also have a mixture of where the number is missing. So today, I'm only going to show you one way to find that missing number. And then after that, there's also multiplication. This time, instead of having it as one digit with one digit, we have a 2-digit number being multiplied by a 1-digit number. And I'm going to show you how to do that one as well. So let's take a look at the board for our computation for addition or subtraction. We are going to do E, and E says, let's read it, 85 plus box equals 198. Now, I know that this is a big number and we can't use our fingers. So instead of doing that, we are going to change the layout of the question and then change the sign as well. Where we are adding, we are subtracting. We take our two numbers, the bigger one being on top and then the smaller one at the bottom. Now we have to say 198 minus 85. That's how we are going to find what is supposed to be in the box. So we begin by saying units first. 8 minus 5 gives us 3. 9 minus 8 gives us 1. 1 minus nothing remains 1. So that means, boys and girls, that in our box, we are going to have the number 113. If you want to check if your answer is correct, you can actually say 85 plus 113 equals dash. If you get the same answer as the one that is already in your book, then you did the right thing. Well done. Let's now move on to the multiplication with 2 digits. Now, as you can see, we have our 2 digits on top and our 1 digit at the bottom. For this one, I am going to do the first one with you so that you understand what to do. Now remember, you might have done this before in class, but I want us to try and do it together here. The first thing you're going to do is multiply on the unit side, where it says 6 and 2. That's the first one you're going to do. So we say 6 times 2. If we say 6 times 2, our answer, of course, boys and girls, is 12. But we only have space for 1 digit. So just like when we are carrying on in addition, we also carry on in multiplication. We take our 1 and say that this one will be added to our tens later on. And then we put our 2 where it belongs. Then we move on. We now say 9 times 2. Remember, this is the one that is multiplied by. So we need to make sure that we have it. So we say 9 times 2 equals, yes, well done. It equals 18. But we still have this 1 that is waiting for us. So we say plus 1. 18 plus 1. And 18 plus 1, boys and girls, gives us 19. Now our full sum says 96 times 2 equals 192. So take your time, boys and girls. Make sure that your working out is nice and clear. Please don't forget to convert the sign from addition to subtraction or subtraction to addition, depending on where the sign is and what you need to do. Ask an adult for help if you're not sure. Have fun, and I'll see you soon after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn, and more. We distribute countrywide in over 10 different languages.
Boys and girls, it is now time for our lesson to end. But I really hope you had fun. Remember, if you're not sure what to do, that's okay. You can either watch this video again or you can ask an adult for help. But make sure that you do your work by yourself. Now that we are done, we need to sanitize. And yes, sanitizing is very important. You can also encourage the people around you to sanitize. That way you know that your environment is safe from any germs. Now that we're done, it's also time for us to say goodbye. I'm not sure where Sashi is today, but I'm sure he's very close. Sashi? I thought I heard you come in. Oh, there you are, Sashi. So, from Sashi and I would like to say thank you so much for joining us today and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.